My 49 female daughter, Katie, nearly adult, was graduating high school this spring and was just accepted to her first college last week. I share Katie with her father, my ex-husband Will, 52, but I've been married to my husband Brian, 49, for about 6 years. Brian has a son, Nick, teen, a junior at the same school as Katie. Brian has full custody of Nick while I share custody of Katie. Will and I divorced fairly amicably when Katie was young and have grown into strong co-parents. Will's family comes from substantial money, so as part of the divorce, we agreed that he would be responsible for the tuition and dorm bill for Katie's college, and I would pay for the other miscellaneous living expenses. I've saved enough to pay for these expenses, but I know that if something were to happen to my savings, Will or his family would be able to foot the entire bill for Katie's living expenses without any changes to his lifestyle. Will and I decided to sit Katie down and show her the whole picture of what college costs and what we will pay for. Brian thought it would be a good idea to have a similar conversation with Nick, even though he's only a junior. Unfortunately, the financial situation for Nick differs. Since his mother is not in the picture, it's been on Brian to save for Nick's college. Brian was able to save, and I've also contributed a bit. He has about enough saved for a full associate's degree or half bachelor's degree at an in-state public school without living expenses. We didn't openly discuss the specifics of the different finances with each child, but broadly said they had different opportunities due to situations outside of their control. Nick has since surmised that his situation is very different from Katie's, and his choices will be more impacted by finances than hers. Nick came to Brian and me very upset over the weekend. He said that it wasn't fair that Katie got to go anywhere she wanted, and he was specifically upset that Katie would not have to pay for her own room and board. He then asked that if Katie gets into a school with scholarships, he could get the difference in tuition for his college. Or he said that I should contribute the savings I had for Katie to his fund to try and make it fairer, since Will could make up the difference easily. I kindly told him that no, I wouldn't do that and that I was really sorry about the situation. Then I told him that, unfortunately, sometimes them's the breaks in life, and we will do our best to make sure that whatever college he decides to go to, that he can make the most of the opportunity, even with loans. Nick was obviously upset at this, and Brian thinks my response to his asking made me a bit of an idiot, even though I shouldn't have to change any of the agreement. I feel like I'm going crazy, but am I the idiot? Wow, did you literally say them's the breaks? Because I can see how he's taking that as an idiot thing to say. While it's true that not everyone gets equal opportunities and starts with the same assets in life, saying them's the breaks is a dismissive, uncaring way to say it. The message isn't wrong, but the delivery was so bad it obscured the message, so you are the idiot. The story's tone also feels that OP doesn't care about her stepson at all, even since she's been in his life since he was 10. She just told him to go get loans. It would be a pretty big slap in the kid's face. The world is cold enough. Kids don't need the same attitude from their parents. Is her ex supposed to pay for her stepchild's tuition? That would be ridiculous. I don't get that at all. OP has contributed to her stepson's college fund, though we're still determining how much that is better than most who come here. Then her stepson wants to take what OP contributed to her daughter's fund. The kid needs a metaphorical slap in the face to jolt him out of entitlement mode. Life isn't fair, and just because someone can pay for someone else doesn't mean they have to pay. Short story, when I was in high school, Mom saw me reading the 500 Best Universities, or whatever book that came out each year in the 90s. She sat me down and told me, point blank, that neither she nor my dad would be paying for college. I came from a poor, blue-collar family. I won't go into the rest, but that conversation needed to happen. I wouldn't be where I am now without that reality check. Nick needed that now at about the same age I was. You laid out what you can and can't pay for. Katie's situation is really none of his business. Hopefully it will spur him on to get his grades and ACT, SAT scores up to get a scholarship and more choices. Them's the breaks is not an idiot statement. Direct and blunt, but not an idiot statement. My girlfriend, 26, and I, 29 male, recently moved to a new city for a great career opportunity for me. When I got the job, I asked her if she wanted to move to the new city with me, and she agreed. She quit her job to come with me, and I told her I could support us while she looked for a new job. She said that she also wanted to focus on finishing a book she's been working on while looking for a job at the same time. We moved here about 6 months ago. I have a 10-year-old dog that I've had since college. He's a smaller dog, only about 25 pounds. Since my girlfriend is at home during the day, she takes him for walks. On one of her walks, she met a single mom, Beth, and they quickly became friends. I was pleased that my girlfriend was able to find someone to make the new city more comfortable for her. Last Saturday, my girlfriend took my dog to Beth's house while I was working on a home improvement project. She was there for 3 or 4 hours. Early Sunday morning, my dog began to act weird. I asked my girlfriend if anything had happened at Beth's house the day before, like if he'd eaten anything he shouldn't have. My girlfriend called Beth, and Beth confirmed that she didn't see my dog eat anything. I asked my girlfriend to ask Beth if she'd given her kids grapes as a snack while my dog was there. I saw my girlfriend's face turn white on the phone. After she hung up, she said that Beth had given her kids grapes as snacks, and her preschooler told her that they were playing a game with the dog and giving him grapes. They have no idea how many my dog ate. I immediately took my dog to the emergency vet. They started treatment immediately but wanted to keep him for observation. He needed to stay for over 48 hours, but he'll live. Unfortunately, there's still a very high possibility that he'll have lifelong complications because no one knows how many grapes he had. The total bill is almost $5,000. I told my girlfriend that I want her and/or Beth to either cover the cost or help with it. She said that Beth is a single mom and she's not going to ask her to help pay for such a huge bill. She also said that she doesn't have that kind of money because she has yet to find a job. I told her that it's time she gets a job ASAP then. She started making excuses about how the kids didn't know what they were doing, so it really was just an accident. I told her that if she and Beth had been watching my dog and the kids, then this wouldn't have happened. And since they were the two adults in the situation, it was on them to properly supervise the kids and dog. She said it was unreasonable of me to expect Beth to pay so much for an accident. I told her that if my dog had injured one of Beth's kids, then obviously I would be expected to help pay for any costs related to that, so I don't see how this is any different. She's refusing to even ask Beth to pay and is begging me not to confront Beth about it on my own because she doesn't want to lose her only friend here. Not the idiot. Your girlfriend should have been more aware of dangerous issues when she decided to take your dog out. The dog was in her care. You're headed for trouble if you told your girlfriend that you would cover her expenses while she looks for a job, and she told you that she wanted to write a book before that. And now she says she can't pitch in to fix a problem that she's responsible for. The red flags are waving like crazy here. Dude, you're unlikely to get either of them to pay. You don't say how long you've been with this woman, but her initial mishandling of your dog and her reaction to the event afterward is pretty bad. The money would only be one of my concerns. I definitely would insist that she and Beth go halvesies. Disagree. You are the idiot if you expect Beth to pay. It was your girlfriend's responsibility to take care of your dog. It was not Beth's responsibility. Your girlfriend brought the dog to a home with a young child and then ignored the dog. Beth should not be held responsible for your girlfriend's negligence. The real question is, would you rather pay $5,000 or lose your girlfriend? Mooching girlfriend can't even watch your dog properly. There's no job search. You're being taken advantage of. Take a step back and think about the outcome of this. She does not intend to get a job or pay her way. I have a toddler and a preschooler, so keeping them on a good sleep schedule is pretty important. Whenever my husband is away, he'll FaceTime with the kids for a little while. We agreed before he left that he would call at 6:30 p.m. my time, as their bedtime is around 8 p.m. He called late from the start, but he was always apologetic and said his meeting ran over, so I let it go at first. After the fourth time, I told him I wouldn't answer if he called later than 7:30 p.m. as it was ruining their sleep schedule, and he began calling later and later every day. I never answered when he called to speak to the kids for 3 days because he called after 7:30 p.m, and now he's angry at me even though I suggested he call earlier if that worked better for him, as it didn't. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He has no respect for how hard it is to get little kids to sleep and for how exhausting it is every single night. You're home alone with 2 little kids on your own for a week. For your sanity, you need their bedtime to go smoothly. So you can call him at 6:30 and have the kids leave him a message, and have him call to leave them a message they can listen to in the morning. Disagree. For all the parents of small children who can't adjust the routine by 15 minutes or end the night with an "I love you" from a parent, trust me, you need to switch something up. Life happens. You can't do your routine and the next day will be hosed. Teach the kids flexibility. Not going to bed 3 hours later, but 15 minutes? Put PJs on before dinner? Yes, you are the idiot. There needs to be more context. If he's in a different time zone, it could genuinely be difficult to get out of meetings suitably to call earlier. Obviously, if they're asleep, I'm not going to wake them up, but I can only imagine how upset my wife would be if I told her she couldn't speak to the kids while still awake when she has to work late. Life doesn't just follow rules. You have to work and be flexible to see what will work. You can be rigid if you want, but the only result will be an angry husband, angry you, and kids that don't speak to their dad when away. I don't see a winner in that situation. And yes, I have 3 young kids, both of us work full-time, and life is super busy. I'm a male 26 and my girlfriend Sarah is 27. Yesterday was Sarah's birthday. A couple of weeks ago, she requested a sewing machine for her birthday gift. Even though she already had one that wasn't broken, I agreed to get it for her. Since I'm a guy who knows very little about sewing, I spent a good 2 weeks searching for a good model. In the end, I picked a brother sewing machine and some extra materials. When I was about to order it, I came across the Cricut Maker 3. For those who don't know, Cricut is something that can cut all kinds of things, e.g. fabric, wood, paper, leather. It can even engrave metal. It's used to do DIY projects like stickers, bags, mugs and necklaces. Since Sarah is very into crafting, I immediately thought she'd love it. In my opinion, it was way better than the sewing machine, since she already had one. Sure, the Cricut was double the price of the sewing machine, nearly $1,000, but I had some money saved. After some research, I bought the Cricut with a heat press and other tools. I thought it would be an amazing birthday gift. I was about to tell Sarah that I didn't get the sewing machine, but knowing her, she would beg to tell me what her new gift was. I wanted it to be a surprise, so I kept it a secret. Fast forward to her birthday, Sarah was super excited. I gave her the present saying that I didn't get the sewing machine, but I got something even cooler. As I said those words, I could sense her disappointment, but she was trying to hide it. I suddenly felt really bad, but I hoped that she would like the Cricut. When she unwrapped the present, she looked even more disappointed. She said, "Thanks, I don't see why you couldn't get a sewing machine though. It isn't hard to get one." I was kind of put off by her unappreciation, but I apologized anyway. Sarah continued, "When you tell me what you want for your birthday, I get it for you. I didn't get you books when you said you wanted a kettle." I tried to explain what a Cricut could do, but she didn't listen. She just pulled out a phone and Googled the price. She freaked out when she found out I spent $1,000 plus on the present. She said I could have gotten her 4 sewing machines for that price, or I could have simply taken her on holiday. This hurt me because I did put a lot of effort into my gift. It's embarrassing, but I suddenly was on the verge of tears. I don't cry much, but I felt emotional at that moment. When Sarah saw that, she said, "Why are you crying? I do appreciate your present, but it's just you totally disregarded what I wanted." She left to give me some space, but we still had birthday dinner together. It was rather awkward, but we pulled through. Fast forward to today, Sarah still hasn't touched the Cricut. She seems to be trying to point out that I wasted my money on something she wouldn't use. I do feel like a bit of an idiot because I did ignore what she wanted, but at the same time, I feel I had good intentions. Am I the idiot? No, she probably hasn't touched it because she didn't want to. You misjudged her interests and bought something she has no interest in, and did it on a gift well above the price point where you should check with somebody before buying it for them. Especially when it comes to crafting, something somebody doesn't really want rapidly becomes a chore instead of fun. You are the idiot a little bit, not because you tried to surprise your girlfriend with a nice gift, but because you're showing a clear pattern of not thinking about what she wants and mistrusting her intentions. So return the Cricut and get her a sewing machine like she asked. You have a deep lesson to learn here. I hope you take the time to learn it. LOL, he bought something that he wanted. The level of detail he goes into for the Cricut shows that he knows the type of crafts the machine can make and clearly prefers them. And then he gets mad that she's not using something she's never shown an interest in and doesn't have the skill set for. Like the nerve of him to get mad over her not using a gift that she never wanted, never asked for, and doesn't have the skills to use. Then she pointed out that OP got all hurt about it and became the victim. Gross. My husband and I have been married for 10 years. We have a tween daughter together, Maya. I also have a teen daughter from a previous relationship, Nova, and he has a teen son from a previous relationship, Oliver. This is about Oliver and Nova. About a month ago, Nova broke Oliver's iPad. She claimed it was an accident, but Oliver believes she did it out of jealousy. The iPad can't be fixed, so we have to buy him a new one. I told Nova she has to buy one for him, and since she doesn't have any money, we are going to do this. She's going to ask for half of the iPad's money from her dad for Christmas. I'll also give her the other half. Then she can buy an iPad for Oliver. She wasn't happy about it and threw a tantrum about not getting any Christmas gifts for herself this year. I told her that actions have consequences. This is her consequence. Yesterday I found out that not only does her dad not have any intention of giving her money for Oliver's iPad, but he's also buying a new iPad for Christmas for Nova. Apparently, it was her idea because she wants to have an iPad. I asked her what about Oliver and she just shrugged. I told her in this case you are grounded for Christmas. This year she's supposed to be with me for Christmas and it's court ordered, so her dad can't do anything about it. I told her she wouldn't celebrate with us. She'll get her iPad but she'll stay in her room. Her dad is calling me an idiot and says I'm cruel for doing this punishment. I think she needs this lesson. Where do you shop for audacity? That's a lot of fortitude to try to dictate how your ex is the only grown-up required to contribute financially to replace something he had nothing to do with for a child that isn't his. You allow a behavioural situation to happen in your home and then take no responsibility for it. And I still need to find out how you know your stepson isn't lying, but your daughter is. You're the supersized idiot. Also, if you're on Oliver's side here, which it sounds like you are, and there's a possibility Nova broke his iPad out of jealousy, why do you think forcing her to spend the holiday alone will change her behaviour? You need to address that jealousy issue. Damn, OP, you're ruthless. This is cruel. There is no lesson to be learned here. This will only teach her to resent you. She's never going to forget this. Good luck with your relationship with her in the future.